Hi there, welcome to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto and it is Friday the 13th, part 2. No, well, Friday the 13th in the afternoon. Bitcoin's been doing all right, actually. We did a live stream earlier on. I'll link to it in the top corner if you want to check it out. But we do the live streams every day at around about 12, like midday UTC. And we were discussing various things to do with Bitcoin. And what I was doing, and what I always do, is I'm always looking at various EMAs. And you can get these as part of our indicator, which is called Quadzilla, which adds both a momentum oscillator down here and then other really super useful things up here on the main chart. Now here, what I'm usually looking for is a cross of the yellow and green EMAs. The yellow is a 21 EMA and the green is a 55 EMA. And this morning I was on a much lower time frame, something like the 12-minute. And I was thinking, okay, well, that's good. They crossed bullish there. And they did that at like 8:30 in the morning UTC. And what I've been doing all day long is, I've been looking at higher and higher time frames to try and see, if this trend is going to stop. And so far it hasn't. And we've just gone past 5 p.m. UTC. And on the hourly time frame, we have indeed got a cross here on the yellow and green EMAs on the 1 hour time frame, which is very bullish. Actually, it doesn't happen that often. I mean, sometimes you get weird bits where it crosses one way and then back the other and just doesn't quite know what it's doing. But usually when you get, like, for example, a bearish one here, it's a pretty good sign that the price is going to dump. I mean, that one was at 69,931. Just to show you one going the other way, a good example. Yeah, now here's a good example. So this one was on January the 2nd. We had a bullish cross there, and the price went from 88,100 up to 94,724, and effectively continued after that as well, although we did get a bearish one here. So it's a pretty strong signal. Obviously I'd like to see it on even larger time frames, like the 2 hour, 3 hour, or whatever. But for the moment, that is actually looking like we could be getting a bit of a reversal. Now, I was talking earlier in the week about the idea of a double bottom. That isn't a very neat double bottom, but it's okay. I mean, normally my criteria is we've come pretty sharp down into it. It has a bounce and then it has another bounce, but the second bounce is higher than the first one. So if you like, the right cheek of the double bottom is slightly higher than the left one. So, it's a fairly classic one. I'd have liked to have seen a bit more of a pullback, to be honest, down to here, say, and then up like that. But we can work with what we got, because now we do have, as I say, that bullish cross of the 21 and 55 EMA on the 1 hour time frame, which is great. Okay, so what else does Quadzilla do? Well, it draws in these retracement levels here. So, for example, this one here, when the price is going up, at some point it's very likely that the price will come back there. And it did try and do it there, and then it sort of didn't quite do it, went back up again, and eventually came back down here. So at the moment, we don't particularly have much like that going on. What we do have, though, is this one here. Now, what's happened here is this is on its what we call the step 3. So you can see the green retracement there. So basically what that means, the price has gone up, it's come back down. That's completed the first 2 steps. And the third step is when it dips below, quite a lot below actually, and then goes back up and completes. So I would think we'd be pretty good until about $70,500. So to me, that is probably a level we are looking for next. Now, obviously on the way, we're probably going to see some other resistance as well, which you'll be able to see if you go down to a lower time frame. So for example, if I go down to the 5-minute time frame, you can see this bearish retracement here. Now that does actually stop. You can make the lines longer if you want to. It is still valid, but that kind of means that we're going to get probably a kind of rejection here at around about 70,180. And what normally happens is the price goes slightly above and then comes back down. And then we'll see what happens there. in the same way, we've also got this retracement here, so it's very possible that the price might kind of go up to there and then sort of come back down here and then possibly go back up there again. Obviously, anything is possible, but that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. Anyway, it's looking rather messy, so I'm just going to remove them drawings. Now then, I'm actually in a long trade from when we got the green background here on Quadzilla. So that was kind of last night, which, wasn't quite as good as it could have been, but not too bad. Obviously, the better one would have been down here when we had these like lovely green backgrounds here on Friday the 6th of February, so 1 week ago. That obviously would have been a much better move. But nevertheless, I'm in a long and it's all going well. So at this point, you'd be thinking, well, should I be taking profit now? Because surely that's pumped loads today. Well, the thing is, if you actually zoom out a lot, you'll see that the actual pump there is quite insignificant compared to the sort of dumps we've had during January. And you'll see here retracement levels from Quadzilla up here, so we've got quite a bit of work to do to get here. We're probably going to get resistance there, resistance there, resistance there, etc. on the way up. If we're going to continue an upwards movement, I personally don't think we're going to get that high. I think we'll probably get to this one here at about 96k and then probably reject from there and come back down. That's just what I'm thinking. There's no particular reason for that. I just don't think we're going to get up to the 126k again this year, but never say never, as I say. So if you wanted to long this now, what could you do if you're not in a trade already? Well, you could probably look with Quadzilla at some levels that it's likely to retrace to, that we've left behind in the last day or so. And that is these levels here. So this one here, like 67,300, 66,240, 65,780, and 65,500. So these are likely to get revisited, just like, for example, this one did here. So I would probably say that if you were going to go long now, be prepared that the price might come back to these levels here. So maybe consider some sort of like laddering in type strategy, maybe where you put in like 5% of your stash there, 10% there, 20%, whatever, That isn't financial advice, by the way. In fact, nothing in this video is financial advice, so do make your own decisions. You are responsible for your own money, and do read the disclaimer in the description of this video. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy that these EMAs here on the 1 hour time frame are looking rather beautiful. I've actually added in here the red 5 EMA. You can do that in Quadzilla just by coming here, going to style, and then just checking that box there, which adds in the 5 EMA. By default, the 9, 21 and 55 are all in there. If you want to find out more about Quadzilla, go to savewithcrypto.org/QZ or QZ. But this is what we want to see. We want to see these EMAs in this order: red, cyan, yellow, green. And now they are just about in that order. When they're in that order, we have what we call the trend in motion to the upside, which is what we want to see. And I think we should go up quite nicely. Not guaranteed, but that's what I think. I'd love to know what you think, so let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, please do give the video a great big fat like. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you've got the little bell selected. And above all, tell your friends.